You, as a child, began going out of body and literally never stopped. You never lost the
Yeah.
awareness of it.
Yeah. Well, I tried to lose the awareness of it for a little bit. Like, because for about the first, like, probably 10 years, I was like, I don't want this. Take it away. What is this? Like, because I was experiencing negative things
Mm,
when I was younger,
yeah, yeah.
so I was like, I don't want this. I was experiencing positive things too, but you know how it is sometimes when negativity seems to outweigh the positive because of the way it made you feel.
Mhm.
So it was like every time I experienced something negative, I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want this experience. So I used to try to cut it off, but it never would.
But what were some of the first experiences you were having?
They was my first experiences were like always around the house or the neighborhood I was in. It was like I would come out in my room and basically just like everybody when they first had that experience running around. Oh my God, no, this is amazing. It's real. I run out the room. I go in the living room. I go in the kitchen, go eat some food out the refrigerator, look around, look at pictures, and I would
Mhm.
see myself in pictures, and I wouldn't be. It'll be pictures that I've never seen before, and I'll be like, this ain't, because I used to always be like, okay, this ain't real because I see myself as an adult in this picture, and I'm a kid. So it's like, why am I seeing myself as an adult? But,
You mentioned
but
negative experiences. So,
yeah, those was like the next in line. They was like just, hey, let me come visit you and mess with you a little bit. But the thing was, I realized as I got older that it was my thought creations. So it was my fear. It was my the things that, because I was living in a low vibrational place at that time. Like I was raised in a ghetto neighborhood. It was what I'm saying, bunch of violence, bunch of this and that.
mhm.
So when you're in a negative state, whether it be you mentally in a negative state or you in a negative space, it seems like it, once you have these experiences, a lot of times you can experience negative things because it's like in your subconscious. So you end up seeing what you creating. But a lot of times people think it's something outside of them that's just there. Like they, oh man, it's a demon that's coming to me. Oh Lord. No, that's you. You
Yeah.
created that. But people don't realize that you created that. That means that you can create something better. But you creating that out of fear. When you create it out of love, it changes. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yes.
your power that you displaying in that moment, is that even though you don't recognize it as your power because it's something that's scaring you,
Mm.
that's actually your power that you're seeing. So that's why it's so easy to get rid of them. And
With
that's
that,
always been something that's been crazy to me, to think like when you start to go out and you see different versions of yourself
mm,
living a life, or you actually sit and talk to yourself, like that's the craziest thing to me. I'd be like, what the heck am I see myself as a woman in another life,
mhm.
talk to myself like the woman version of myself, and I'm like, I don't want to experience that. Like, let me stay in this one.
I don't know how I feel about
She
that. Yeah, you have to
Yeah,
get over that too, right?
yeah, you do. Like,
Understand that we're not just positive and negatively oriented in some life
hmm,
experiences. We're also sometimes male, sometimes female,
yeah,
sometimes earth human, sometimes not earth human. I mean, and so it can get
yeah,
pretty wild. And all of that has to integrate when it's in our conscious state of awareness through our central
yeah.
nervous system. Person, I'm not a fighter, I'm a
You
runner.
just like, what's
So in
going
fight or
on?
flight, I'm definitely flight.
Yeah, I'm fighting. I'm
But when I came across, we're going to have some fun with that. Yeah. But when I would come across another Casey, I mean, I would just start beating the crap out of her. I never did figure out what that was or why that was my immediate
you got
go-to in that
uncomfortable.
situation, but has that ever happened with you?
I've never beat up another version of myself, but I never did that before. But I ain't gonna lie,
Yeah.
I fought a lot.
The awakening, and so, like, one of my
Mm,
first experiences, so much happened. I'm shifting from the conscious state, so before I'm even out, I'm feeling hands on me, I'm feeling presence in the room,
hmm,
I'm feeling this, feeling like I'm a live wire, like I'm being electrocuted, quite literally,
yeah,
my whole body, I'm in central nervous system shock, and I
hmm,
finally get out. This entity that's here with me is trying to help me get out, and they take me to tell me my father's passing. And so,
yeah,
another like, as though this wasn't enough to handle, I'm now going to be told something like this in the
hmm.
experience, right? And so
Like dang,
it was a major, major, traumatic
that's
thing, and it didn't end with that either. As soon as I got back from there, I didn't even have a chance to integrate what had just happened, and I was abducted. Now, you
yeah,
processed a lot of confrontation in the etheric frequency bandwidth. Tell me about that.
yeah. Talking about like fighting and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
But most of the time I didn't have to really like physically fight. It was mostly energy pushing stuff away. Like when you see some of these negative beings or something, if they see you know who you are, if you
yeah,
know what you can do, they're gonna tread light with you. They ain't gonna.
yeah,
They might try to manipulate you and be like, yeah, you know, as soon as you ask them some questions, they're gonna get a little frustrated
yeah.
and they're gonna be like,
But we don't always in the experiences, right? And so,
hmm,
yeah, I've been attacked multiple times.
yeah,
I've attempted myself to beat the crap out of myself. Yeah, I've been sexually assaulted. All of these things
hmm,
happen.
yeah,
All of these things can happen and do happen. Uh,
hmm,
and we have to process it. Now, how did that happen? How was I able to not get myself out of that situation?
yeah,
And
yeah.
exactly how would I the next time?
There was times where I seen when I was younger and I seen something that looked negative that didn't come towards me, but I realized how much like I was the ignorant one in the experience
Mm,
because I seen it walking down the street, and when I seen it, I said, "Oh, you think you slick?" I felt like he was trying to scare me, so I ran up to him. I
mm.
ran over to him real fast and slapped him in the face. Like, whoosh.
Oh,
He looked like a big old like he was red, had these horns. He was big. He was just walking down the street slow motion.
well, those horned beings, those I know that they look like what we like to envision as
That's a
as devils
yeah.
and stuff like that. But they're archaic. They're ancient. There are
Mm,
down at the very very core, so far beyond where we are consciousness wise, and
yeah.
and a lot of times our drainers. They're helping
Mm,
us in these experiences to
uh,
evolve past our perceived fears, and
yeah.
so if this envisionment is falls within the category of what might be fearful to you, it will present in order to help us get
Yeah.
beyond that. Here's an observation. I'm really great at observation. If nothing else, right? I would notice that the more fearful type of experiences, the ones that gave my central nervous system the largest difficulties, happened at the top of the night between 11 and 2 a.m. The more shocking, the more impactful on my system, the more I dig it because I remember it.
Yeah.
And there's usually
Yeah.
something in there that's intriguing to me, such as one time I was passing through the etheric frequency bandwidth after such an experience one morning, and I noticed that in the etheric frequency version of my room, there's electronic spiders crawling all over the ceiling.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the
I remember this one experience I had where I went outside. When I came out my body, I ran outside. And this is when I was younger. That's why I be telling people like sometimes you'll get scared of stuff that you shouldn't be scared of. I
Mm,
walked outside and it was like a normal day. It was like nighttime though. It was nighttime when I looked to the side. On the side of the roof, it was a bunch of owls, and they was just looking at me, white owls, and they was looking at me. And when I
mm,
moved their head towards me, like they just followed me. Freaked me out, like was freaking me the heck out. As soon as I started getting freaked out, they flew off. But when they flew off, it looked like angel wings. And
mm.
when I flew off, I was like, but I wasn't scared no more when I seen that. I was like, what the heck? Like, so that was they left probably because I was terrified because I was like, why is these owls looking at me?
Yeah.
Like, but
The snowy owl used to visit me a lot in experiences as well too. But let me just say, you know what the owl is often indicative of?
what's that?
Contact.
Contact?
Yeah, extraterrestrials often appear as
Oh,
that.
for real?
Yeah,
Extra?
yeah, that's a thing. It's
I didn't.
hard, people, yeah, they cannot realize not having the experience is that when you go into these expanded states, you don't experience yourself as separated, you know, from people, beings, entities, as you do here in 3D physical space. You know,
Yeah,
you feel, or at least I did in my experiences, I felt the penetration of our fields. I felt it from the withinness of myself. It can feel
yeah,
invasive. It takes some time to get used to that level of beingness, and how you're going to
yeah.
experience yourself here and get used to the
Hmm.
fact that fields naturally penetrate in these expanded states. It literally is the going out beyond of where you are right now. And of course, there's going to be stuff there that you're not used to, and
Yeah.
ways of being and experiencing. And again, that way in which, your fields are very tangibly to you overlapped, and that information
Hmm.
and energetic experiences coming to you, more directly, not to you from the outside through space, but from a level of right there within you.
Yeah.
It's that takes some acclimating to. Again, it's going to send the central nervous system into shock, and you're going to have to process that in a way that's beneficial to you and hopefully others.
Then you got them zones where they kind of like in a hospital, them dimensional spaces where they kind of like in a hospital. Now,
Mm,
I'm not too sure of how that dimensional space was created, if it was created through our subconscious for when we passed, to if we had like problems with like alcohol abuse or drug abuse or
mm,
certain things. But some people, when they pass away, they go into this hospital and they kind of be getting assisted by these what look like doctors or nurses or something. So
mhm.
it's that place right there too, and they'll be there for a cool little minute.
And
But
there's places where the negatively oriented are also engaged in their own orientation. And like I've been taken into like bloody hospitals and places where others are
mm,
being kept prisoner with no
yeah,
doors on or anything. They have been so diminished. The doors to keep them
mm,
in aren't even necessary anymore. They're just gone.
yeah,
So I've been, taken into some places like that for retrieval.
yep.
Uh,
It can be pretty sad.
yeah,
Like, dang, they lost,
it can be
lost.
hard. I've been taken into, oh God, this one. It was inside of a building, which had some kind of a basement level, but it was actually attached to the first level of the building. And from that first level, uh, there's an opening at floor level that has bars that sort of go down into this sub area that was kept full of water, and people were chained in there. Yeah, it's a
Hmm.
it can be horrible. We're never left in them for longer than we can manage,
Yeah,
to be helpful in some way, to be ourself in some way,
yeah,
which is itself is what helps the people that are there. Yeah, I've been taken into war areas where people are dying, children are dying,
hmm,
and I'm taken in right to the moment that they're actually going to pass, just to get
yeah,
eye contact with them going, and to, send the love energy and to let them know it's going to be over in just a minute.
hmm.
Those are
You
sad.
good? Come on.
Those are sad.
Yeah, they can be pretty sad. I done been in
Yeah.
some dark places
It
where
feels
like
good
that.
to be there to help, but yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
I tried to help some people because they was in a room and them room didn't have no doors. And they
yeah.
was like stuck in this room and I'm like, why y'all in here? And they like, we can't get out. And I was like, yeah, you can. And I was like, they was like, you can't. I was like, I said, I'm in an out of body. I can wake up at any time. He was like, no, when you here, you stuck. I closed my eyes,
Hmm.
opened my eyes. I was laying in the bed. I closed them back and I went right back. And I said, yeah, I can wake up. So I started lifting all the rooftops off of these cells. I was lifting them up. And when I started doing that, I heard somebody yelling, talking about the keeper of times is coming. The keeper of time is coming. And I'm like, who the keeper of time is? So I bust away through the door. I look down the hallway. It's like these metal crates on the ground, like the walkway is like metal. And he's walking up. He had like this stick in his hand with it like what looked like a dream catcher, but it wasn't. But it just that's what it reminded me of. He's walking towards me, and I'm like, who the heck is this? When he got close to me, I was like, he was like, what are you doing, Chris? And I was like, oh, he know my name.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm trying to help these people. They think I'm trying to help them with what he's like, I'm trying to help them. He said, and I was like, while he was talking to me, I was like, man, I know who you are. And he was like, oh, do you? And I said, you the devil. And he said,
Oh,
how did you know? And I said, oh, because I
you
don't
were
even know
just
why I
kidding,
said
and he
that.
was.
He said, how did you know?
I
And I
think he was
said,
having a spot
oh,
of fun back with you.
yeah, he probably was. And then we actually walked and he was talking to me, trying to explain to me why he had these people in these cells. And I was like, I don't want to hear that. And it's back when I was like, I was real young back then.
Yeah.
So I was deep in my word in the Christian. I don't want to hear none of that. I said, I believe in God. I don't believe in none of that. And he stayed calm the whole time. He didn't get loud. He just said, okay. And he said, well, let me introduce you to my hellhounds. And I'm thinking, like, I look back, I see this big old dog house. And I'm like, I see chains on these dogs' necks. Now they big, but I see chains. So I'm like, oh, I'm just run back real far, and the chain going burp. Like I start running backwards, like, but I'm looking at them while I'm running backwards, and they coming, and it's not stopping. And I'm like, why is it not stopping? This is a long chain. It scratched my arm like right here, and I could
Mhm.
feel it. And I was like, oh shoot! And I pushed the dogs back with my energy. When I did that, the dude grabbed me by my arm and threw me in the air. He threw me in the air like I was a rag doll.
Yeah.
And I'm flying. He didn't throw me like I was about to crash into no buildings or nothing, but he threw me and I was like gently like flying through the air. Like, did he just throw me?
Mhm.
And I landed on the ground like, oh, he got me messed up. And I pushed him with my energy through the wall. And I ran into the wall after him. Like, come on, let's get it. Like, let's go. And we in there for a minute, we was just pushing energy at each other.
Yeah.
It wasn't like no fight. It was just
No.
us pushing energy towards each other.
Yes.
And
Uh-huh.
I'm doing this, and as I'm doing this, I started getting to the point where I was like, okay, he got some power. Like he kind of strong. And I
Yeah.
was like, let me just go ahead and wake up. But I
Right.
couldn't wake up. So I was like, oh, next you know, an angel came out of nowhere and hit him in the forehead with an arrow. Like shocked the crap out of me because I'm like, where he come from? Had on
Mm.
all white. And he like, hit him in the forehead, hit the ground. The angel walked up to me and grabbed me, was like, are you okay, Chris? And I was like, yeah. And he
Yeah.
threw me on his back like a kid. And while I'm on his back, we flying up out this place. And it's this big old sun that's like dim, but the clouds is
Mhm.
dark. And as we going up, I'm like, whoo, this is a hell of a place, ain't it? And the angel was like giggled and was like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And as I'm flying up, I just start fading out and woke up. I was like, yeah, nah, I don't want to go back to that one. Nah. Hmm.
Yeah, it's the
You
worst.
experience a lot with out of bodies. Like a lot of people think it's like this. When you come out, you're just gonna experience like one type of thing, like certain thing. Like no, I've experienced lives where, like, imagine being. I was 19 years old, experiencing lives of me being married with kids
Mm.
and experiencing emotions, heartbreak, like all this stuff at that age. And I didn't have that at that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you
Yeah.
come back and have the information of somebody who had a whole family, and then you try to tell somebody some advice, and they're like, "You ain't got no damn kid. Why you telling me?" You're like, "Well, I did before."
And I'm aware that I did. Yeah, what you're
Yeah,
consciously aware of, you experience. And what you
yeah.
experience, you have to process. Yeah. And so processing all of
Hmm.
that takes some doing. And I thank you for what you've processed, for your work and for your service, which I know is ongoing and will go a long ways more before you've completed this life experience.
Yeah.
Same here.
Same here. I like the way you say that. That's how you say same here.